Hi, kindergarten. I'm so glad you are joining me today on my YouTube channel. I'm telling you, I have had to learn how to do a lot of things so that we can be together. We're not really together in person, but I'm so glad that you are joining me. Later, we're going to read this book called Ben. So if you would like to pause the video, you can go ahead and find this book that was in your packet a while ago. And also, if you have a whiteboard or some paper or anything that you can write on, I want to do a little practice with blending some words today. So go ahead and pause the video and get your book and a paper and something you can write with or a whiteboard. And then you can start up the video again. So as you can see, we have the letters up here. These 5 letters in our alphabet are called what again? Do you remember? A, E, I, O, U. Those 5 letters that of our alphabet are called the vowels. Vowels. They fit in a category called vowels. All the other letters that would come in between B, C, D, F, G, H, and on, those are called consonants. But mostly it's important to remember for now that these 5 letters are called vowels. Say that with me, vowels. So the vowels in words help us spell and help us pronounce the words. These vowels have many different sounds, but the ones we are going to work with are the sounds we'll work with: a, I, Some of the vowels you can hold the sound out, and some vowels you just cut them short. You cut the sound short. You don't hold it out. If we hold some of these vowels out, then we actually add a second sound, and we don't want to get used to that. We don't want to start some bad habits with reading. So when I point, you say the sound of the vowel or the sound of the letter. Ready? That one you can hold out until you just get exhausted. You can hold the short A sound out. Let's try it again. Ready? So like if you go to the doctor, you might have a sore throat, just not feeling good, and he checks your ears and he looks in your eyes and looks up your nose, and then he said, just open your mouth and let me see in the back of your throat. You might go, or he'll say, stick your tongue out. That's the sound of A, but when we're reading, we wouldn't go, at, right? That would be silly. Okay, so we know A says, we can hold that out. Our next vowel, E, we want to make sure our mouth is a smiley position, because E and I sound a lot alike. And if we practice making the sound of E with our mouth like a smile, that will be very different than the sound of short I. You don't have to open your mouth very wide, but we make both of these sounds with a little grunt of air. But remember, when we do the E, and look at the shape of the E, it almost looks like it's smiling. So, when you first start learning to read words, make sure you really get that smile for making the sound of short E. Elephant. Okay, now notice I can't hold out the sound of short E. We're not going to go like that. That's the short E is chopped off. Now let's do the short sound of the vowel I. Here's the O. You might sing that with Mrs. Rasmussen when she holds her hands up. You might do some sounds and some certain notes. Ah, ah, ah. And that's the short O sound. And our last little guy over here, that vowel is U. And the short sound of that is like if someone threw the ball at you and you caught it. Maybe it was dodgeball. Maybe you're playing football, taking some recess breaks from school and you catch a football, or someone throws a frisbee at you and you catch it right where your tummy is. So it's like, okay? So, why don't you go ahead and make the sound of short U with me? Ready? Do this sound. Ah. And look at your mouth. It's shaped like an O when you do the short O sound. Ah. It's shaped like an O. So that helps us remember too. This one, it helps me if I raise my eyebrows a little bit. I don't know why. It just helps a little bit to sit up tall. Now do your E, short E sound. And this one again. Okay. So I'm just curious how reading has been going, or all your schoolwork actually. How has that been going for everybody? So you can sure email me. Your parents have my email address. And it would be so fun to hear from you, especially after you watch my videos and you join me on YouTube here. It would be fun to hear how everybody is doing, because we all miss each other so much and we wish we could be together. And boy, I miss you guys, because being in school is so much easier than doing this. So before we read our book, Ben, oh, and here's my little guy. When I saw that I had this book that we would read today, I thought I'd get my little bear and show you. And I'll talk about him later. His name isn't Ben. This bear's name is Cooper Bear. And I've had him for many, many years. Actually, this bear is special to me because I got it from the teachers at Kimball School. I got hurt very bad one time. My back was hurt, and I was teaching first grade at the time. And I spent a day in the hospital and then had to go for therapy and stuff just to make my back stronger. But I got this from my teacher friends. So he is pretty special to me, because I know a lot of people at school cared that I was hurt and was sick, and they missed me at work. So this guy is pretty special to me, and I brought him to help us read along today. He's just going to sit over there on the chair. Okay, so if you're ready with your whiteboard or your paper and a pen or a marker, I'd like to write some words here and blend with you. We're going to just change the vowel. So I'll show you how many words we can make that look a lot alike, and that's why we have to be very quick with recognizing our vowel sounds, so that we don't let words that look a lot alike confuse us. So let's go ahead and start. Here's my first word. You write it with me. Ready? C-A-P. Dive down, swim back up and around. There we go. Ready? Let's blend the letters that we see. Let's blend that slowly and then say it. If you like to swoop underneath, you can do that too. Sometimes we did that when we had reading in school. We would swoop underneath. Don't get crazy like this, okay? Then our word gets so messy, we can't even read what we're doing. So let's be serious, and let's be very cautious about how we are using our whiteboards or our pencils, either one. Okay, ready? Make the sounds with me. Go. App. Word, cap. A cap is something that would go on your head to keep you warm, or the cap, the top to your water bottle. Cap. if you have a whiteboard, you can just erase the vowel. And if you just have a piece of paper, that's fine too, because actually you will be able to then read your whole list of words, okay? So if you have cap written, then just underneath, put our next one. So let's put the vowel U in here. And so if you just have a piece of paper, you can write the same beginning letter, our new vowel, and the same ending letter. Then at the end, we can read all of those. If you want to erase the vowel each time and put in our new one, that's fine too. Okay, it's all just good practice. So here we go. Let's blend our sounds. Go. K, up. Word, cup. Let's try one more. We can make a real word by changing another vowel. So you can erase the U if you would like. Or if you're making a list, then you can just write it underneath. This time, let's put a O. C-O-P. Okay, let's get ready to blend. Go. K-up. Word, cop. A policeman, a cop. All right, so if you have paper, this was what yours looks like. And if you like to erase and write a new vowel every time, then you just have the top word. All right, so now here's my list that I made before we started the video. So if you want to just move over and make a new list, you can do that. And if you have your whiteboard, you can just erase everything. Our next list of words, we are going to use every single vowel, and we're not going to change the beginning and ending sound. This is a fun word family. All right, here we go. B, remember on B. Let me talk a little bit about writing the letter B and D as lowercase letters. B, B. We make the B sound when we write the letter B, B. We also make the B sound when we do our first line to make the letter B, B. Big line down, B, big line down. Remember, we always write from left. Start on the left and move to the right. We always write that way, always. We might switch back and forth, but we always end up going left to right. So when we want to write the letter B, we start with B, big line down. Now, this is the left side. When we write, we always go to the right. When we get letters on paper, we always go to the right. So big line down, our little curve has to go over this way because this is where we started and we're moving to the right. So big line down, little curve. That's a B. When we want to write the letter D, we do not start with big line down and then make our curve over here. That's why our brains get confused and go, which side do I put the little curve on? I don't remember, and then I get them backwards. So you never ever start big line down, on making a D. You never start with big line down. When you make the letter D, you start with the magic C letter. Start with the magic C. Look at that. That looks like a C, isn't it? Yep, so we call that magic C. And then remember what I said? We always move to the right when we are printing letters. So, or making words. So here's my letter C. Now I'm on the right side. I'm over here, I'm on the right. Now I close it up and there's my letter D. Okay, we never start letter D with big line down. Another thing that would help you remember is if we're saying the alphabet, A, B, C, D, look what comes in front of D. It is the letter C. So C comes before the letter D, even in our capital letters. There's C, and then you know big D looks like that. But C comes in front of D every single time. In the alphabet it does, and when we write the letter D, C has to come first. Let's try that again. Okay, so listen carefully. What letter do I want you to write? D, 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 D. I want you to write a D. So what do we start with? Magic C. Now I'm on the right side of the letter. Close it up and down. Now write this letter. B, 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 B. That reminds me, B, B, big line down. Now go to the right with your little curve. Okay? All right. That was just a quick review. So if you've been writing B's and D's the same way with a big line down, you need to retrain your brain. We need to do that differently, and then we won't have confusion later on with B and D. Okay, so here we go. Let's write some more words and we'll just change out the vowel. If you have your paper, just make your list. If you have your whiteboard, you can still make a list or you can just erase our vowels. Okay, let's say our vowels again. Ready? A, E, I, O, U. Here we go. B, bat. Big line down, little curve. At. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ready? Blend. B, at, bat. Let's erase the vowel. Which one is the vowel? The B? No. The A? There it is. Let's just erase the vowel. If you have your piece of paper, then you can make your list. So bat would be over here. Okay, ready? What's our next vowel? E. Put that in the middle. E, little line up and around. Ready? To blend? Go. B, et, bet. Bet like I'll bet I can beat you at racing, or if you play cards and you want to place a bet, like I'm going to get 5 tricks. So bet. If you have your paper, then you would have bet underneath. So B's are the same, T's are the same, and we're changing up our vowel. Okay, what's our next vowel? I. We use the A for bat, we use the E for bet, and we use the I for it. Let's blend. Ready? B, it, bit. I want just a little bit of cream in my coffee. Or my hamster bit me. Can have 2 different meanings for this word, bit. If you have your list going, you'll be looking like this. And if you have a whiteboard, let's go ahead and erase the vowel. Which one is the vowel? You say it. I. Let's erase the I. In our list, our next vowel is O. Let's blend. B, ought, bought. Okay, so this word is a little bit different. Like if I said, I went to Michelle's market and bought some potato chips, that would be spelled differently. That word is spelled with a lot of letters, like this. Okay, and that's not the one we're practicing. Bot, if you think about it, is like robot. Okay, let's blend. Ready? You do it by yourself. Go. Word. All right, and here's your list. If you're doing yours on paper, like I did before we started the video, I just have a nice list here. I decided not to use those, so I just scratched them out. All right, we're going to erase the vowel and put our last vowel here. Leave your beginning and ending letters. And this is a sight word. You guys have known this. And you know what? If you just remember this word, lucky for you. Excellent job. You can just say the word, okay? But if you didn't know the word and you need a little review to keep your brain thinking, go ahead and blend those sounds. Here we go. But. I wanted to go for a walk, but it started snowing. All right, so if you are writing your words in a list, can't really see that. There we go. All right, and so look at how lucky, if you're doing yours on paper or if you are making a list on your whiteboard, we can read these again. And this is where we have to be so careful about our vowel sounds. So ready? Bat, bet, bit, bought, but. Okay, that is some fun practice for our short vowels. And let's go through our vowels again. There's a special reason why I put the letters in this order, because this is the order how they come in our alphabet. So A is always our first letter of the alphabet, E comes after that, and then there's letters in between, remember the consonants. I comes after E, then O, and U is at the end of the alphabet. So I always say my vowels in this order because that's the order of the alphabet. So A, E, I, O, U. Let's say them again. A, E, I, O, U. And those 5 letters are called what? Vowels. So let's see if you can say them without looking. Okay? Everybody ready to close your eyes? Let's say the vowels without looking at the cards. Ready? Go. A, E, I, O, U. How'd you do? All right. So anyway, I already told you about my fun little friend here called Cooper Bear. And he's just been with me for a long time. And do you have a special stuffed animal that brings back a memory for you or helps you think of something special that makes you feel good? So this is why I've kept Cooper Bear, and he just makes me feel really happy. I had him at school for a while when I taught first grade, and then I just brought him home and thought maybe I could spend more time with him at home, especially in the summers. Okay, so Cooper Bear is going to sit here and read with us, and we will go ahead and get started. Maybe I can set him up on here so we can see him during the story. And how is everybody doing? I hope you can text me or email me and let me know how you're doing. I sure miss you guys. We had fun in school. And we're still doing school. I hope you are working hard at home and still getting time to go play outside. So here's our story, Ben. I love how his t-shirt says his name on it too. So Ben is a happy bear. Let's take a picture walk before we read the words. Okay, so we see Ben, and what is he doing? Oh my goodness, he's looking up at the top of the tree where he kind of has a problem. You know, every story, if it's a fiction story, has a problem and a solution. So this one, the problem, yeah, is that the bear is stuck in the tree. Oh boy. And even if Ben puts his arms way up, I don't think he'll be able to reach. So lucky for Ben, here comes a friend, and he's got a net, something taller that can help them reach higher. And so if we knock on the branch or kind of scoop at Ben's bear, maybe it would fall out of the tree. Okay, and boy, we know that Ben has some trusty friends, because look, somebody else showed up and said, oh, maybe we should get the box. That might help. I love it when you have a problem and friends are just there to help you. That's how I got Cooper Bear. I had a problem with my back and with feeling so sick, and guess what? I had friends that came and helped me. I had friends that brought meals to me. It was just so great. And I think that's why I got better so fast, is because I knew people cared about me. Our next page, oh my goodness, look at this. Another idea that a friend had, and that is Chicken. She had, or Hen had, a great idea. All right, remember, as you're reading, our books aren't stapled together, but it's easy to just turn and keep them all together as we read. All right, so then I see they have some little toy soldiers, and they're stacking those together to see if it can be tall enough to knock down the teddy bear. And happy ending. When people work together, look how fun that is. All righty, I'm ready to read. Here we go on our title, Ben. Now we want to remember that as we're reading, when we see capital B-E-N, we want to make our brain remember that, so we don't have to sound it out every single time in the story. Okay, work real hard at making your brain work real hard. Okay, so B-E-N, here it is again on his shirt, and that's what we were going to remember is the name of our character. So let's just say the word on his shirt. Ready? Ben. Looks like a panda bear, doesn't he? Those big circles on his eyes. Okay, you can read with me, or you can watch the video and then read the book to someone at your house when you're done, but I would really love it if you would read with me. Okay, here we go on page 10. Ready? Read. My pet, said Ben. I cannot get it. Page 11. Get a net, said the vet. Ben cannot get it yet. I noticed that this character had a little coat on that looked kind of like a doctor, and there's that thing that doctors use. Do you remember what that's called? A stethoscope. So I'm glad we read, because now I know, oh yeah, that is a doctor, an animal doctor called a vet. So that was the vet's idea, is to get a net and see if we could reach the tree. All right, we're ready for page 12. Read. Get a box, said Fox. Ben cannot get it yet. Page 13. Get 10 men, said Hen. Look at that long stick, still didn't work. I'll bet if one of these friends would have held the stick, they would have been tall enough to get the bear down. All right, ready on page 14. Here's our character's name. Read. Ben got 10 men. Page 15. 10 men got it. Ben can play. Woohoo! You know what? I forgot about this too. On some of the books for the other grades, there's words written on the back to practice, and on some of your books, we don't. And we certainly could have written our word list on the back of our books. So that's my challenge to you when the video is over. Take your list that you wrote on and write it on the back of here. And let's say you had a whiteboard, and so all your words are gone. I'll bet you could write some words back here and change the vowels. Perhaps you want to just choose some words out of this book that you just write on the back. So we know that we have, let me show you what I mean you could do on the back if you used a whiteboard. Let's just say you have the vowel E. So I would write like that. What are some words from our story that had the vowel E? Well, our main character, Ben, and that's his name, so we'd want to capitalize. Big line down, little curve, E-N, Ben. Then I would go back and look through the story. Ben cannot get it. So I read it and then I think without looking back every single time. Get, g. That's G. It's in my E column. At. What else could we find? Oh, the animal doctor that brought the net. Oh, and there's another one, net. And who's the animal doctor in the story? Vet. Here we go. Vet. The vet brought a See, if you can push your brain to figure things out. If you need to look back, that's always okay. But let's challenge your brain and see, what else can I think of? Ben cannot get it yet. That's the Y letter. And then an E, and then a T. Yet. Now let's read our list. Ben, get, vet, net, yet. See how our books can be so much more than just read and shut them and put them down, okay? Let's think of another one. It's a number that comes after 9. 10. Let's write that without looking back. Let's sound it out. 10. So you could keep going on short E sounds, even if it didn't come from the story. Do you remember those little things they stacked up? 10 men. Let's write that. Men. Look at our list. I hope that you are able to use your books to do many things with reading, not just read, put it down, okay? Another character is like the girl chicken, so hen, and we're going to capitalize because that was her name in the story, hen. Hen. All right. If you want to write other words by taking out the E vowel and trying, you might get some silly words. What if I took net and put the U instead of the E? Look at, I made a new word, nut. I could put an O in there. T. I made another word. What if I said g? If I look at get and I want to put an A in there, at, gat. That is a nonsense word, but you know what? There's still great things that does for your brain when you can read words, even if they're nonsense words, because that just helps your brain practice all those sounds. Then when you get done, read your words and practice. Just practice, practice. I hope you read the story Ben again, even though it's not on the video. And I am so glad that you joined my YouTube channel. Please send me an email, or your parents can send me a text and let me know how you guys are doing on practicing. And we will catch you again at the next story.